Sure. The meeting tonight is for the conduct of town business by the town board. The public is invited to participate at the items marked on the agenda public comment. During the segment of the meeting, if you have a question or comment for the supervisor, please raise your hand and wait to be acknowledged. Please state your full name and limit your remarks to 3 minutes. Thank you for your anticipated cooperation.
Thank you very much, Colleen. I'd like to start the meeting off with the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I'm sorry, I can't stand.
Okay. I pledge allegiance
To the
flag
to the
of the United States of America,
of America,
and to the
to the
republic
republic
which it stands,
for which it
one
stands,
nation,
one
nation,
nation,
under God,
indivisible,
indivisible, with
liberty and
justice for all.
justice for all.
Thank you very much, everybody. So there's a public hearing. The public
About
hearing,
the time, moment of silence.
I'm sorry. You're right, Ed. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So a moment of silence, please, for our brave men and women fighting all over the world for democracy and freedom, especially during this time of the virus. We offer our prayers to our first responders, our police department, our people working in the hospitals, our doctors, our nurses, everybody that's keeping us safe in this time of uncertainty. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So we have a public hearing, local law of the year 2020, new chapter 98 harbor management law. I like to keep the public hearing open until the following meeting because we had the consistency law that we're waiting on from the planning board, Ulster County Planning Board. So until we have that, and then we can move forward and close this and adopt the two laws together. So if everybody's agree, I motion that we keep the public hearing open until the next meeting.
27th.
27th. Thank you, Ed.
And I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So moved. Okay. I also like to make an amendment to the agenda.
Can't see it, but
First of all, to add added computers for Tina, a laptop, and for Tom, a tough book. COVID-19 reduction in revenue. I also like to add it to the agenda that we make a motion to pay for the 17 computers, which is now $12,545.32. Somebody can make a motion. I can make a motion to amend the agenda with the following items.
go
I
ahead.
make the motion to add all the items you just described.
All right, thank you very much, Scott. I need a second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So move.
Who was the second? I'm sorry.
Alan.
Okay, you all right, Dan?
Yes.
Got it?
Yeah, I can't hear too good. I have to put my AirPods back.
There you go.
Hey, Al,
Yeah.
Howard, did you want to make sure Mark Reynolds was in this meeting for some reason? He hasn't
Yeah.
tried. Okay,
That's why I've been asking for you to send email to him with this.
I did do that. I don't have a way to text him or anything to remind him. I send him an email, but I don't.
Okay, when we,
He
Let
can
me
wants to record him.
I'll give him a call when we do the reports.
Okay,
Sent him an email, that's, what else could we do?
you're right.
Yep.
So motion to approve the minutes from the March 23rd, 2020 Town Board meeting.
I make that motion.
Thank you, Ed. Second.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you, Scott.
I
Okay,
just want to say we got to approve the agenda as amended. I don't think we did that.
okay, thank you very much. And then would you make that motion, Scott?
I'll make the motion to approve the agenda as amended.
And I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. All right. Authorize Motion to approve, did we approve the minutes from the March
Yes.
23rd?
Yes, we did.
Okay, authorize payments of the bills in the amount of $333,167.38. All right,
I will make that motion.
I need a second.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Alan.
Opposed? So moved. Pay the bill. All right. Comments on the agenda. Anybody have any comments on the agenda?
No.
All right, moving forward. Any presentations? No presentations?
No.
Okay. So let's go to the reports of departments and board. I got mine printed out here because my eyes are not that great.
I can't see it anyway, so.
Okay. So somebody's going to have to read probably Mr. Alongi's and Mr. Charlie report, and maybe Cindy's report. So when we get to that, we'll work it out.
Yeah, I'll read those out. It's no big deal.
Okay. Because of my report for 2020 is because of concerns about the COVID-19 virus. The town was proactive in reducing the workforce and eliminating employees' interaction beginning mid-March 2020. This necessity limited interaction to telephone and social media forums. Zoom meeting with Councilman Baker and members of the Marlborough Economic Development Committee. Had a conference call with New York State DOS, Department of State, with Councilman Baker and Rosemary and Jerry Wine to discuss CFA grant for Milton Landing. Had a Zoom meeting with Councilman Baker, John DeMarco, and Scenic Hudson on a few properties down by Dock Road, one being Mr. Graciosi's, the other one being the Marina. Had a conference call with Dennis Larios regarding Phase 2 9W. I'm happy to report that extension, the Phase 2 extension, is completed. We were worried that we wouldn't get that done in time for the 9W corridor repaving. So we did complete that. We're going to find out what the cost of the actual cost is. And hopefully it'll be under budget, and maybe we could help people with their grinders to hook up to that sewer line, that Phase 2. Coordinated response to the Ulster County Project Reliance with the help of Matt Vidal. I'll talk about that later on. Daily conferences with the County Executive, Pat Ryan, and Deputy Executive Mark Ryder. Participated in a virtual town meeting via Zoom with town board meeting members, Chief Kokoza, Building Inspector Tom Corcoran, and Daniel Carabini. I'm sorry, Danielle. That was at the last meeting that we did that. Work regularly with Tina Rosa and Danielle to update social media to keep community informed. Working remotely with town hall staff to do regular duties to address town business. Respectfully submitted, Al Lanzetta, supervisor. So the next is building inspector. Tom?
All right. Building inspector's report, March 2020. You got me?
I lost you.
Tommy, you're on both iPhone and your computer?
I just went on the other screen because it was better. You still hear me?
Yep.
Now I can hear you, yep.
Yeah.
All right.
We're getting
Building
an echo
inspector's report, March 2020. Certificate of occupancy 2, request for information 10, trailer park renewal 0, building extensions 1, fire inspections 15, fire calls 1. Complaints 63, order to remedies 11, burn permits issued 7. That would be prior to the burn ban. Building permits, additions, renovations 3, burning 7, carport garages 2, deck stairs 4, demolitions 1, electrical 5, roofs 2, sheds 5, signs 1, single family houses 1, tank installation removals 2, total permits 33, estimated cost of building $538,898, Total monthly revenue, certificate of occupancy 150, permit extensions 284, building permits $4,775.40. Request for information is 1,000. Total building permit fees $6,209.40. Fire inspections 1,580. Burn permit fees 20, with a total monthly income of $7,809.40. Total gas usage 70 gallons. Total miles 980.
Thank you, Tom. Any questions for Tom? Tom, I have a question. How's it going, by the way? With
That's what
It's
I'm
going
gonna
well. We're open 5 days a week. I'm there all 5. Penny's there Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We're taking phone calls, emails, building permits, and I'm doing inspections on the field Tuesday and Thursday. So when I come back to the office, there's nobody there, and it's going well.
Have we had anybody, Tom, that we had to stop work, they had to stop work, or most of the people were in the middle of working that can continue?
No, everybody was fine. I hadn't really had to shut anybody else down. I mean, like I said, Brooklyn Bottling got the okay under essential services for, bottling beverages. Dunkin' Donuts, Mickey Jamal got the okay from the state as an essential service as a petroleum producing site. I mean, that was a reach, but I got the letter from the state, so they were fine. And, anybody else that's been building has been single, individuals working on a lot. So nothing that's been essential. I mean, I had one roof that had a hole in it, so I had to give the emergency okay on that, so patch the hole on the roof. So there was a couple of guys more than one. But other than that, there's really been nobody taking advantage of it.
That's great. I'd like to thank Senator Skoufis and Assembly Jacobson. When Mickey reached out to them and myself, we were able to get him that waiver. Thank you very much, Tom.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Police Department, Town of Marlborough.
Activity summary for the month of March 2020. Personal injury auto accidents 2, fatal accidents 0, property damage accidents 17, for total accidents for the month of 19. Summonses issued, vehicle and traffic, 174 summonses, 4 parking violations. Total blotter entries handled, 1,285, with a total of 26 arrests for the month. Police telephone calls handled, 1,826 phone calls. Payroll, overtime, full-time dispatch, 21 hours. Police mileage, 11,707 miles, with a fuel consumption of 1,179.325 gallons. Just so you guys are aware, we lost a motor in a car yesterday.
What car?
203.
203?
Yep, had just under 140,000 miles on it. I don't know how much longer it's going to take for them to get one of our newer cars in, but I'll make some phone calls tomorrow and see what we can do.
Okay.
In terms of the governor's orders, we're going to be mandating, effective tomorrow, mandating every person to be wearing a mask, whether they're in the station, out the station, dealing with the public. The only time the requirement's not necessary is if they're in the car by themselves or in their office by themselves. So that really only applies to like myself, the dispatcher if the door's closed, and obviously the officer in the car. So otherwise we'll be wearing masks 24/7.
We had those masks, right, Chief?
Correct. So looking forward, when I spoke to you all last week or the week before in reference to ordering that case, after we received that case and they quickly got dispersed, I took the proactive advantage and ordered another case, which was in my office today.
Oh, that's
So
great.
we have just under 2,700 masks right now, which I think is going to be plenty to get us through the next few weeks of everybody using masks. So tomorrow morning when I go in, I will deliver masks to each and every office, at least a box of 50 to start now, so that every employee has them. I know Tommy has some already, and I already gave 250 to the highway department. So it's just the other offices I have to deliver it to. And obviously, if any of the board members need masks, because if you're going to come into the building, you're going to have them, I will make arrangements to get them to you or leave them somewhere for you that you can pick them up.
I just, one thing, Ed, I think, how we stand with the volunteers with the Project Reliance.
They all have masks, but I will make sure that if anybody needs any, I'll get them to him. I have extra masks that Chief gave me, so I can get them to him tomorrow. I'll bring them with me.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
So who's up next? Any other question? Anybody have any questions for the chief?
So Jerry, just to be clear, did you order two 2,000 lots or two 1,000 lots?
I ordered two 2,000 lots.
Okay.
And the only reason I have 2750 is because I gave mass out already. I gave some to the fire departments.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me correct that. I sold some to the fire departments, and I gave the rest out to the different department members that were all town employees. The fire department offered to split the one case with me, so I took them up on the offer of taking their money,
Okay.
which still reimbursed the town via check.
Both fire departments, Marlborough, Milton?
Nope, just Marlborough offered to buy. Milton, I spoke with
Chief Leader?
Chip Ken, I think,
Okay.
who said and I think I had some conversation with Alan, who said they had some, but I do have some available too if they run low or need them. I do know they had a call the other day, which they responded to a location that was COVID-19 positive, so they should be using them.
All right, thanks, Chief. Anybody else have any questions for the chief?
I wondered, is the ambulance service still looking for masks as well? Because they were at one time.
Well, I could tell you that we had individual that taught nursing school, and she found a bunch of masks and some other PPT, and I called Mr. Woosley up, and he picked them up from the individual, so he's very happy.
Right.
But I'll let him know if he's in need. At the time when I talked to him, he was, I think she had about 15 or 20 N95 masks, and he was very happy with that. So as you could imagine, their call time is down 50%, right? Because
right.
And so yeah, so they're fine. They're doing well.
Good.
Alan, did you say you wanted to read the highway superintendent's report?
Yeah, I said I'll do it.
Okay.
All right. Monthly report for March 2020. COVID-19. In addressing the pandemic we are experiencing, we have had to make some temporary changes. After communicating with other highway departments, on 3/19, we divided our workforce into two groups that rotate weekly. We are taking precautions to keep everyone healthy, which then gives us the ability to address problems that may arise during this period. Our hours remain the same at 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Roads. On 310, we repaired the dirt section of Old Indian Trail. We continued road patrols throughout the town. Cold patching, cleaning catch basins, and pipe ends were needed. On 327, we cut up and removed a guide rail on Ottawell Road, which will be reinstalled in the future. Snow and ice. On 323, we had freezing rain, sleet, and snow showers. We salted and plowed all routes with our now limited workforce. We did lawn repairs due to plowing on Sherman Drive and the cul-de-sac on Route of Vin. Drainage. We continue throughout the month to ditch, install riprap, and prepare Prospect Street for this year's paving project. On 316, the police department notified us that there was a beet juice spill on Route 9W and Milton Turnpike. We sent out a truck to salt and sand. On 331, we started ditching Willow Tree Road. Brush and weeds. Due to another mild month, we spent numerous days trimming and chipping trees in the village of Marlborough, McLaughlin Drive, Millhouse Road, Woodcrest Lane, Old Post Road, and Brewster Street. Water department. On 311, we assisted the water department in repairing a soup lid at the Milton Firehouse. Training. 3-4, all the men attended a yearly dig safety seminar at the Sports Dome in Milton. Town parks. We spent several days at the Milton Landing, Old Keenum Winery site, excavating and installing 60-inch, or I would imagine 60 feet of 6-inch PVC pipe.
I think that's 6 feet.
Was it 6 feet? Okay, 60-inch by 6 feet PVC pipe. We also worked on reinstalling the water lines. Fuel usage, gas not available, diesel not available. Respectfully, submitted, John Alonji.
Thank you very much, Alan.
Want me to keep going with water?
If you like, you're on a roll.
I forgot to invite Charlie. I'm sorry.
Okay, dude.
Monthly report for
Okay.
March. Water consumption totaled 13.648 million gallons, which is a daily usage of 440,002 gallons compared to last month of 47 million gallons, which was a daily usage of 495,000 gallons a day. Compared to a year ago, water consumption was 15.24 million gallons for the month, which is a daily usage of 191,800 gallons. Summary for the month: hydrants. Had to repair a hydrant on South Road service lines. We had to install and lower a service line that leads to the sewer plant with the help of the highway department. We had to repair a service line for first billing. Bills had to be alleviated. Bills are out. If there are any problems or questions about your bills, feel free to give us a call. Sewer. We had to replace and repair sewer risers at the intersection of Bloom Street and Grant Street, and also at Bloom Street and Orange Street. Service inspection 0, closings 2, markouts 40, gallons of gas 200, gallons of diesel 0, mileage for the month 1,700. End of report.
Hey, does anybody know why John wasn't able to get any usage on the gas or diesel? It wasn't available. It seems like Charlie. Okay, well, I'll have to check into that.
Well, Charlie's showing no diesel. I think they have a diesel truck still, don't they? Don't they have one?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't know if it was available at the time
Yeah.
when he did his report. The fuel reports came in late
Okay.
Okay.
from the school. I do know that.
Okay. Very much. So, Colleen?
Town clerk monthly report for March 2020. Burn permits, 1 for $80. Conservation, 1 for 28 cents. Dog licenses, 23 for $125. Water services, 1 for $425. Transfer station permits, 3 for $135. Punch cards, 9 for $300. Building department fees, $19,893.02. Fire fees, 1 for $850. Accident reports, 8 for $40. Certified copies, 4 for $140. FOIA requests, 1 for $32.75. Park fees, 1 for $300, for a grand total of $22,321.05.
Thank you. Any questions for Colleen? How are you coping, Colleen, with the virus? You
We're
and
doing
Danielle?
good. Me and Danielle are continuing working. We just alternate, so we're not in this office at the same time because our office doesn't, allow us to be 6 feet apart at all times.
Okay.
So, but we're doing good and, plugging along like everybody else, but everything's good.
Has anybody tried to come in to get a fishing license at all? I know the building's locked.
Actually, yes, people have tried. We just give them the information that we have, that they could call and have it done, or do it online and things.
Yeah.
So everybody's been very understanding, and
Okay.
pleased when we answer the phone, shocked that we're there, and very understanding. We haven't had any difficulties with anybody. So
Appreciate it. Thank you very
Yep.
much. To the both
everything's
of you.
going good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Water quality management. So for the month of March 2020, both the Marlborough and Milton wastewater treatment plants complied with all Speedy's requirements, as long as our monthly statistics for both plants. Average daily flow is 108 gallons per day. That's pretty well down there, isn't it? Average BOD removal was 90%. Average suspended solid removal was 99%. I would think that average daily flow would be up because everybody's home, but maybe I'm reading something wrong. Anyhow, the Milton wastewater treatment plant, 26,500 gallons per day, about 58% of the design capacity. Average BOD removal, 99%. Average suspended solids removal, 97%. There were no major events or changes at both Marlborough and Milton during the month of March. We have replaced the damaged return valve and patched the leak on the aeration line at the Milton facility while re-welding the small hole rapid pump and meter notice that a larger section of the line is severely rusted out and will eventually need to be replaced. We are continuing our roof painting project at the Milton wastewater plant. Please feel free to contact us at any time. Stay safe and be healthy. Thank you, Julian Falco, Water Quality Management.
You know, Al, it probably does make sense that capacity is down because with the school being closed, that brought everybody in.
Yeah,
You know,
I got you. Yeah.
they're home now with their own systems.
So that's probably where the bulk of it is,
Yeah.
majority of it is. But on the Milton side also, Al, it's pretty much down.
Could be the Brooklyn bottling is a little bit, not bottling as much.
Could be.
They're our biggest users.
I'm sure there's explanations why they're both below.
You got some businesses that closed, you know.
Right.
So,
Yep.
I mean, I'm
Makes
sure.
sense now. Right. I was just thinking about residential. Town of Marlborough door control. Would anybody like to take that?
If I could read it, I would.
Okay, so that's a no, I guess.
I can't see it.
Got it out.
So,
I'll do it.
I could go like
Yeah.
this, and then it goes away. I don't know what
Yeah.
it's doing.
It
I'm gonna
doesn't
try
say
something.
big.
I'm gonna try something different in a minute, but
I can read it. It says, this is from Andrew McKee. We received a total of 23 calls this month, including 8 calls to service from Marlborough PD, State Police, Ulster County Sheriff. Responded to 4 active complaints and/or cases which are now closed or resolved. We currently have 2 open cases that have been addressed but are ongoing or unresolved. 2 appearance tickets were issued this month. We impounded 0 dogs this month. There were 0 dog bites reported this month. We currently have 0 dog in the kennel. We have 0 cases in the Marlborough Justice Court at this time. We're having a higher than usual number of calls for dogs running at large. Please keep your dog's leash. With more residents at home, this doesn't go unnoticed. Thank you. And that's from Andrew McKee. Howard, could you read the planning board review? Not much there, babe.
Yeah, let me see what I got here. Planning board review, March 20th, March 2020. Attendees: Chris Brand, Manny Couchy, James Garofalo, Cindy Lanzetta, Joe LaFaro, and Ben Trapani. Applicants, Bayside, mixed use, 18 Bertzel Avenue. Applicants' representatives requested a 90-day extension for the subdivision portion of the proposed project. Resolution of approval by the Town of Marlborough Planning Board for subdivision for the application of Bayside Construction LLC was approved unanimously. Discussion, the board requested clarification regarding changes made to previously approved subdivisions from the planning board attorney. Next deadline is Friday, March 6th. Next scheduled meeting is Monday, March 16th. And then the March 16th meeting was canceled due to COVID.
I think they're going to try it this Monday with the same approach that we're taking. They're going to use the Zoom. Hopefully that'll work out for them.
Mm-hmm.
We got Cindy Hilbert. We prepared 2 property tax estimates. We processed 19 real property transfers. We finished up the majority of our field work prior to the changes, but have a few more properties to do visual inspections on. Change of assessment notice will be going out around May 1st, 2020. Grievance will still be held on Tuesday, May 26th, 2020. The times and format of the hearings have yet to be determined. So we'll see about that May 26th grievance meeting. I think that's 100% of the reports. I want to thank everybody for doing that, especially in these uncertain times. So we're moving ahead. I think if we look at our agenda, let me see, town board agenda.
Eddie.
Hey, Eddie.
We go to number 10, or no, number 9, reports of the committee. Recreation Committee, you have anything, Howard? Or I know we canceled quite a few things, right, Scott? We canceled our Easter egg.
Pretty much everything is canceled at
Yeah.
this point. So it's unfortunate, but it is. And it was a good idea that, you know, giving out the Easter candy that we had to the school to hand out during their lunches that they've been handing out. So that was a good idea. So,
I thought that was a great idea that Tina had, and also with the coloring of the Easter Bunny, they hand out some prizes, so that's a great thing to keep them busy. We don't know exactly. I know that Tina put in the form before the COVID-19 really hit for the camp. I don't know if that's going to happen this year or not. We'll find out. We'll find out pretty soon.
I saw Bill sent out a note today, already canceled one of the performers that go there. So that's starting.
Yep. So we'll keep an eye on that and see what happens as we progress. Anything else? Any gentlemen have anything about recreation? You know, go out and walk, use the park, do the 6 feet distance, and stay safe. Enjoy the park. Not today; it's pretty rainy, windy, but tomorrow's supposed to be a nice day. Enjoy. Actually, the board had made a determination along with the chief to take down the basketball hoops. So how's that working out, Chief?
We've had no problems at the basketball courts. The only issue we had there was family picnicking, and that was addressed and explained, and they had no issues. So it's been good.
It's been good. You haven't had a problem with the pause regulation from the governor, have you?
No.
With people taking advantage and not doing the social distancing and stuff like that?
Most of them are pretty good, and a lot of the folks that are compliant are kind of self-policing. We've gotten a few calls, like the one at the park, you know, a small congregation. It turned out to be all one family. They were barbecuing at a barbecue pit at the park. We just explained to them what, you know, the governor's rules were, and they dispersed. It was not a problem at all.
Well, thank you, Chief. Appreciate it. So anything with the emergency management?
Well, yeah, I've been actually looking at it a lot. I think after this, and hopefully this ends soon, but I think we're going to have to add some things to this because this sort of falls underneath the thing of an emergency. Maybe add some structure. Some of the things that we had to work through our, you know, our workforce with, maybe we can add in here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it needs to be added. There's some things need to be added to it. This situation is still very fluid, so let's see how this shakes out. When it ends, it ends. And I think we should, you know, I'm going to open it back up, look, and start making some suggestions, and everybody can too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's going to have to be restructured a little bit.
All right, I appreciate that, Alan. Thank you very much. The CAC, they haven't met, of course, because of the virus. The IT committee, I mean, we're doing fine. I think we got our servers. We had the firewalls, and then did the computers come in today?
No, they did not.
Okay, they were supposed to arrive on the 13th. And we're going to discuss with the amendment to the agenda for Tom and Tina's computer. So we're moving forward. Milton Train Station Foundation, I believe there's no report. Milton Landing Citizens Committee, Alan? No
Anything?
report.
We have everything's on hold right now. We usually do our spring cleanup. No, we're not. You know what I mean? It's just we're not going to call for that because that's be congregating.
Yeah.
So maybe we could. Well, maybe we might just put on the page if you want to go down with a bag and fill it with garbage. Feel free, but do it by yourself. But we're not going to have a day of it.
Well, actually, I just put on my Alan Zether Facebook about going out and doing the social distancing and picking up garbage in your neighborhood, and talk to John Alonji, and he's willing to pick up those garbage, and this would be on Earth Day. So it would coincide with Earth Day. I had a couple of people complain about garbage alongside the road. So yeah, so what we did in my family, we walked when the weather's correct with social distancing, of course, and we started picking up garbage. So this is something that we could do and get a little exercise, get some fresh air, and do something good for the community. So it's on the Facebook. I don't think the Milton Train Station, no report, Milton Landing, Citizen Committee, Marlborough Hamlet Economic Development Committee. Howard, we did do a Zoom with Will Hughes, the chairman, and Dave and Virginia were on that also. Few people were on it, but we discussed several things. Would you like to?
Not a lot we can do right now, but
Yeah.
Copying Milton.
Yeah. How about meet me in Marlborough?
Well, you know, I had a call with Meet Me in Marlborough, gosh, probably a week and a half ago with Judy and Sheila and some of the other officers, and went over a few things. They would like to continue to work more closely with the town. They look at themselves as the marketing arm of the town. They are still working on that $7,000 grant, I'll use that word, for the boulevard sign. So that's a matter of paperwork, I believe. But they would also like to go for more marketing money next year. So they're asking, I think, for the town to consider putting a line item in their budget to support that, some match money. So we'll have to discuss.
I'm a little confused, Howard. So to be clear, they applied for their grant or they received the $7,000 grant?
I think the money is, they have applied for it. It's just a matter of figuring out how to get it now.
Now, is it a grant or is it a member item? Is it from?
It's a member item.
Okay, so that usually takes a year.
I can't get a straight answer on that, but
when they presented it to us, I don't think they gave us a straight answer. Like, really, they didn't.
Right.
They
I
didn't know.
think it depends on who you talk to. I think Judy feels it's just a matter of getting the right paperwork, and they have Rosemary, I think, helping them. So I have confidence.
That's a plus. That'll happen then. Okay.
They still would like to, for the town to consider some space, physical space for them to put all the documentation and files that they have, and have a sort of a small office as a presence in one of the town buildings, if that's at all possible. So that's request is still out there. So somehow some space becomes available magically that could house a small office that could say, Meet Me in Marlborough, marketing arm of the town or something like that. They would appreciate that. So we'll just have to consider that, I think, in the future. I told them I would bring it up to the board again, and I'm bringing it up right now. So.
Okay, appreciate it.
Space is at a premium, so that's.
I think talking to Gary today, the ag people have moved out of the old supervisor's office, but there still remains a few things in the clerk's office. So they haven't completely moved to Tomback. And because of the situation with the virus, what happened was Spectrum was supposed to call me up to install the internet and phone at the Tomback building. And when it was time for the appointment, they never called me. So I talked to Nicholas today. We made an appointment for Thursday for sure. So hopefully they'll call me. I gave him my cell phone number, and hopefully I get a hold of John or one of the guys in the highway to let him in. So with that said, that means that opens up that space, but we have a lot of concerns about our own documents. So let's take it step by step. I'm not saying no, but like you just said, the space is at a limit. Wouldn't you think, Scott? I mean, looking at circumstances.
Absolutely, right now.
Yeah. So and then what happens is that hopefully, depending on what happens up in Albany, hopefully we'll get the contracts for the Tomback, and that'll be completely shut down for the renovation of the Tomback. So we'll have to just look at it and talk to them and tell them the situation.
I mean, I think Meet Me in Marlborough is looking for space in the actual town hall. I mean, I know they were a long time ago, because they want, like Howard says, they want to have like a presence, so when people walk in, to the town hall, they actually see some of their brochures and things that they're doing and tours and things like that. So I'm not sure where we could fit that in at the town hall, but you know, I think that's what they're we really would want to have is something there, town hall as you walk in, like where the break room area is that the school uses. That would be the perfect.
That would.
Yeah, that's
Right.
ideal. I think they would take, if there is space in the old highway department to start, maybe that would, you know, be a good thing to start.
Well, we'll just have to look and see what happens.
The
Yeah.
overall sentiment of the meeting, it was a Zoom meeting, was that they want to work more closely with us and share information, and they want their calendars to sort of be seen as the community calendar, their website calendar. So if we have things that we think appropriate that should, you know, appropriately shared with them that they could put on their website, we should do that. I'm sort of looking at Danielle for this now. So if there's something that's not specifically town business related, that's more for the whole town, event type thing that we know of, we should make sure it goes on their website as well, as much as we can. So those kinds of things, work closer together.
We're going to have to talk that out because, you know, basically then if we allow one, you know, we'll have to talk that out because there's logistics. If we let one person come on our website or whatever, then we'll have to allow anybody to come on our website, right? So
well, I'm thinking pushing it the other way. They want to put it on their website. So if we have information that should go on their website, like this, all this COVID stuff, they want to, because it does affect small businesses. They represent a lot of small businesses. Any information that they can put on their website that would help small businesses, they want to do that. So anything that pass along to them.
Well, then what I can do is when I get the emails from the governor's office or from the county's office, I could just copy them about the business, you know, grants and stuff like that, and they could put it on their website as also.
Yes, I've been trying to do that since we had this meeting. So, but yeah, it doesn't matter. Both of us can do that. That's fine.
Okay. Well, if you're doing it, I don't want to replicate it.
I
So
think you get a lot
that's a
more
good
stuff
thing.
than I do.
Probably. Anyhow. Hamlet of Milton Association, I'm saying probably the same thing, Alan.
Yeah, they had everything planned out, but it's obviously, that's all, like the barn party, all that stuff, that's all.
Okay.
Vivian's probably going to still plant. And I'm sure she'll get out there, but it's not going to be a group thing.
Okay.
Is Eddie still on?
Eddie's in the dark.
He's there.
Tap for Ed's machine. What does that mean?
I don't know.
Oh, test.
Test. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Oh, there he is. Okay, I didn't see you. Okay.
I'm dark.
Did you pay your electricity?
Of course.
Okay. So I think we have an update on the transfer station review committee. I think Larry called me up and he called Tina and he was very concerned about Saturday being unusually busy.
Yeah, he's right. Yeah, I was there on Saturday. It was I'd never seen it so busy. There were probably 7 or 8 cars there stacked up.
Well, it's because we opened it up to the public, right? Now you don't need a punch card.
Yeah, people are taking advantage of
So
it.
that's what they're going to do.
That's
That was going to happen as soon as you.
They take cards from us and you could charge. I mean, we can mail them out punch cards if that's the case. I mean, if it's getting out of control, they can mail us money, we mail them out a punch card.
Yeah, because I mean, think about it. Everyone's cleaning their houses out.
Exactly.
So cleaning their attics out, we'll just bring it to the dump now.
I tell you. So, well, I think we're going to limit the bags. Let's try that, I guess, 1 week. And right? You put that out.
Yeah, he's going to limit it to four bags per car.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that free?
And we'll see how that works out.
Let's
It is
see.
what it is.
We have to be through this to the end of April. We'll see what kind of actions the government takes beyond that.
I depend on you and Alan to look at that and make suggestions to the board and work with Larry and Jeff and make recommendations to see how we could streamline it or, prevent this. I don't know exactly, but you guys could work it out.
Yeah, I mean, just an idea that Colleen, I think, put out there was, they can call into the town to order a punch card and then send in a check, and we can send out the punch card.
Yeah, I've been doing that.
I
I've
think,
been doing it all along anyway, me and Danielle. I have one I sent out the other day with, they got the permit to go in for the 60 and then they bought punches. So, you know, I asked for a self-addressed stamped envelope and I mailed it back to them.
Yeah.
The issue is at the transfer station, though.
See, I don't
he
want
doesn't want to punch it.
Well, yeah, he doesn't want to punch the cards. I understand. But I
That's
mean,
the
if there
issue.
was- if there was social distancing and somebody put down the thing and he walked towards it and punched it with gloves and a mask.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
then he would have to do something with the card unless he's wearing gloves and stuff.
Right,
He
gloves and
has
a
to wear gloves, right?
Right,
Yep.
right. I mean, it's
Yeah,
entirely up to you
glove and
guys.
a mask now,
You have to
right?
change gloves after every transaction because
Right.
he's affecting the person as he hands it back. So
Yeah.
Unless he has maybe a drop box and
Well,
people buy one punch at a time.
Yeah.
What
I
if-
mean,
yeah, okay. A drop.
What about-
You know, I don't want to solve that problem here right now.
Okay.
I think that I'll leave it up to Alan and Howard, who are the liaisons for that, and then they could talk to Danielle and Colleen and see how they could arrange. If not, if so, what we can do. But the main thing is that I think everybody agree is to have Larry and Jeff and the rest of the people that go there be protected. That's the whole idea of it. So we want them to be safe. And we'll see
Actually,
what
quite a
happens.
few people were actually using masks when I was there the other day. That was a good thing.
Yeah.
Jeff was wearing a mask. Larry was not wearing. Larry's going to wear a mask, but he should be. And I keep telling him
Well, now he has to wear a mask, right?
he's over.
he has to. So
Right.
I will bring him some masks on Saturday.
Okay. So we discussed all the reports. Let's go to old business.
Before we leave transfer station, I just wanted. Did we ever hear back from
No,
Taylor about the tires?
no, I called him twice, so,
Yeah, and I tried him also, Scott.
I mean, I talked to him, and then, the secretary was supposed to send us the information. I talked to him again, she said she was gonna send the information, and I have not got it. I haven't bugged him in the last 2 weeks just because of everything going on. I just
Yeah, it doesn't
let it go.
right now.
But I'm gonna keep following up with him. I don't know why she just doesn't send us just send us the numbers. That's what we need.
Yeah, he might be. That's
Okay, can we leave transfer station now? You done? Anything else? All right, the old business Tom Beck rehabilitation update, waiting for the contracts. The LWRP, we'll address that once we get the data back from the county on one of the resolutions, the consistency resolution.
Mhm.
We'll move forward. And then hopefully we have that and the harbor management resolution. We'll pass both those and we'll have a amendment to go forward with the LWRP. We'll accept the LRP. Our lawyers will make a resolution to adopt the LWRP. So we can move forward, and Howard, we could hopefully in time, I think we'll be in time to get those 4 points, those 4 vital points for our CFA.
Exactly.
There's no talk about the water district improvement. So we'll go to new business, and what I added was the, first of all, I like to have a motion to pay for the 17 computers, which because of what's going on, Scott, we had a decrease per unit of $100. I think we saved like $1,700.
$1,666 we saved. So for the i7s, and they're pretty good computers. I think it was a good price for what we got.
Okay.
Because the original ones we were going to originally get were the i5s. So these are i7s. It's a better processor. Yeah, we saved about $100 per, and no shipping. So
So those, Scott, those computers, those 17, I need a motion to accept the quote for $12,545.32 and pay for those computers.
Motion.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the 17 Optiplex 5070 PC units. And as Al said, the total price was $12,545.32.
I need a second.
I'll
I'll
second.
second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah.
So also, with the amendment to the agenda, I put down, added 2 computers, talking to Scott and Danny and about a tough book for Tom in the field. I think that was around $600. And a one for Tina. So if this occurs again, Tina could work from home. She could log me in. I think that was around a little over $1,000. So I'm asking the board to authorize us buying these 2 computers. Price probably not to succeed over $1,700. Is that correct, Scott?
Yeah, the only question I had, Al, and I'm sorry I should have talked to Tommy prior to this, is I just want to verify with Tommy, would you actually be using this in the field, or is this more for home use?
Home use.
So my question is, should we get not a tough book, and get one that the same type that Tina's getting? Because if it's going to be a PC that's at home like that, I'm not sure the tough book, because the tough book's not as good as a computer. So that's what I want to
But Tom, is most of your stuff cloud-based?
I'd be using it in the emergency situations that we're in now, for IPS to be home to access my files, my building permits, residential districts that we're in, to be able to answer questions in that sense, to get online, to do these things. You know, right now I was working off my phone earlier that was dying, so I had to switch over to my son's iPad. So I don't have anything at home to work this off. So that, you know, that's what I'm using it for. So if the building department was down shut next week, I'd have no way to work at home and not have any access on my computer.
So
Yeah, so this is going to be done through like what Chris uses, admin. It's like, so basically you're when you log on, you're basically almost like you're logging onto your desktop at work.
Yeah.
Right.
So basically, you wouldn't need anything in the field to how do you do that now, Thomas? So the question I'm asking, how do you write things down, or do you have?
Everything has to be hard copy because it has to be kept on file in perpetuity in the office in those files. So everything is done in writing. So originally when we were trying to do stuff in the field with the tablet and then bringing it back to the original IPS program, it was double the work. I was recording it in the field, bringing the tablet back, and then physically having to fill the forms out. Penny would have to re-enter, and then we'd have to file them in the file cabinet. So it was repetitious. So, you know, doing field work on the tablets or the computers is really, it really makes no sense because, again, I have to keep hard copies forever in those files. And then, you know, doing stuff in the field, it wasn't, you know, wasn't really, it was double work is what it was.
So at that point, so the thing that maybe I misread was I thought you were actually going out in the field and using so I thought maybe a tough book would be.
No, I thought the same thing. I thought the same thing, Al. That's why I wanted to double check before we just go in order.
I have no problem if you want to get the same laptop as Tina is with 1,000. So that would mean that to extend that motion to spend $2,000 a laptop for Tom and a laptop for Tina. And this way we're covered if this ever happens again where Tom actually don't have to go into his office. He could because Tom is essential according to what's not essential and essential. So he's out in the field. So he comes back and maybe someday, hopefully, God forbid, this won't ever happen again, we'll be covered with him and Tina. I think that concludes the whole department as far as we can go as being proactive.
Yeah, because
So-
Tina would have one, the building department would have one, the budget office would have one, and actually the assessor would have one, because she already has one too, so. And I think Jerry has one. The only one it wouldn't be is the town clerks, but I talked to them. I don't know if it would work for them in their area, what they're doing.
Yeah, no, I have to go in because my tax program is all based through the county. I can't,
Secure.
it's all secure. And I do all my checks. I run through my checks. So I have the panini. I have to go in anyway, so.
So you're similar to the assessor's office where she goes, a lot of stuff comes
Right,
through the
right.
county. And most of the time, and she has a laptop too that's capable of doing log me in also, but I think she prefers coming in at certain times when nobody's there. So
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. So it works out better that way. It is, it's not necessary to spend the money for it, so I'm fine.
So I like to get this over with. So I make a motion that we spend the $2,000 not to exceed $2,100 to buy the 2 laptops, one for Tom Corcoran, building inspector, and one for Tina. I made that motion.
I second that motion. Those are Dell Latitude 3500 laptops. So I second.
I have I motion, Scott second. I need everybody all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, so moved. That gets that out of the way.
Hey, if I'm not mistaken, is there an opportunity through the, to get reimbursed for those computers?
I was just gonna say that, Tom. I think, Chris, since you're on here, I think we should mark these down as being something we had to buy for essential employees that we didn't have, and we're spending some monies on it. I mean, I don't know if we're gonna get reimbursed for anything like this, but it's good to mark it down, I would say.
I think
that's
mine
a great
was
idea. I think it doesn't hurt not to try. I think
mine was fairly easy because obviously I was under the essential services from day one and needed that computer to work at home. Yeah, didn't have one. So under the essential services,
My dog.
That really filed my reimbursement.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think that's a good idea to mark it down as something that we might be able to get reimbursed for. That would be good.
So, Scott, you want to email Danny and copy me to say that the board approved the 2 computers?
Yes, I will. Yep.
I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So now let's move on to, I wanted to talk about revenue. So I had a supervisor from the county, Supervisor Quigley, was talking about what this does to the revenue to towns. And so I'm very, aware of what it's going to do. As you could suspect, the revenue from the court, the revenue from our AIM, court fees, mortgage tax, sales tax, all that's going to be compromised because of this virus. So I asked Chris to do just a quick analysis of what that actually meant. And so Mr. Quigley said that he thinks that the sales tax is going to be down 17%. So right now, actual for 2019 was 164, call it 165,000. We actually budgeted in 2020 136,000. So if you take 17% of the 164 or 165, we're down $6,883. Not too bad. On the AIM program, we usually get 35,000. Am I correct in that? No? What did I do?
So the actual amount that we received in 2019 was 164,000.
Right.
Reduce it by 17% is 28,000. So possible actual could be 136,000.
That's what I said.
130. So we'd actually still be over budget in revenue.
Oh, we'll be over budget by 6,000.
So we'd still be okay in that. Anything that's the over will still be okay. The one concern was the court fines and fees. I don't know where they're getting 45% reduction though. do you have any idea how they came up with that? Because that's almost half. I mean,
Well, the courts have been shut down for the last month, right, Jerry?
yeah, but 1 month,
Yes.
50% almost?
They're
Yes,
gonna be down, they said 45 days minimum, and then you got the bail reform on top of that, that you're not, things like that too, so, and probably crimes are down, I mean, at least ticketing
Yeah.
and stuff is down too, right?
Yeah. So what he's saying, he might have been, very conservative on his thing, 45%. But
Yeah, that's a lot,
basically,
45%.
it's just to make the town aware of the shortfall, right? So this
Yep.
way, we have some idea. And so what Chris is saying with our analysis is that we actually budgeted Chris right for 52,820.
We budgeted 100,000.
100. I got this all wrong. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's the possible actual is the
Okay.
52,000 of what, 45% of 96,000 that we received last year. So
That'd be
it brings
52,000.
under budget by 47,000. So that's a significant amount.
Shut up!
And we really can't tell. My God. Is that an attack dog?
It's a pit bull.
Oh, my God. And so in mortgage tax, we really don't know,
Stop it.
Kelly, what's going to happen with our mortgage tax. Right
I
now,
think if it stays
the
around
actual for 2019 is 191,000.
right. I think if we say, even if it's reduced 25, 30,000, it'd still be within budget, 120,000.
So the main concern is the court fines. We could be down by as much as, would you say,
Almost 50,000.
in all these categories, because of the reduction, because of the virus, that we might be down in our budget of $45,000, $50,000?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, to me, that's a lot of money, right? So what I think I'm going to do is, if it's all right with you gentlemen, I mean, I always agree with Ed, just because it's in your budget doesn't mean you have to spend it. So maybe do a little discretionary. Look at what items you're actually going to buy and see if you really need them. If not, maybe we could do until a later time. I just would ask that. I know that basically me and Scott and Chris have cut most things right down to the bone, but just like your household, maybe a certain item you might not have to do. You might say, "Oh, I can do without this." But I'm just going to ask all the department heads to look at that and maybe just look at that, see if we can make up that shortfall. I don't know if everybody agrees. If I'm being too.
That's what we should do. We should always look to be,
Yeah, you should always look to be. You'd always look to do it, but if you look at the highway department, their fuel consumption is going to drop by 50% because they only have half the trucks out on the road that they normally would have.
Right.
So you're going to see some semblance of a saving there, and I'm sure some of their projects aren't going to get done because they're not manpower. So what they buy actually, just by how it's structured, they're probably going to see reduced expenses just by how this is structured.
I don't know if everything's going to come to 50 grand, but let's see. But I'm just saying, Scott, you're correct. We should always all the departments should always look for that couple of percent savings. So I'll just write a nice memo asking people to see if they could do that.
Is there anything like, I know they're talking about this phase 4 stimulus package, and they say this stimulus package is going to be for states, and then the trickle down to the counties is then going to trickle down to the municipalities. So, I would say same thing with this. If we see a $50,000 reduction in fines or anything, it's something we put on our list and say maybe there's some stimulus money we could get reimbursed for later on. So, I mean, we won't know that till the end of the fiscal year, but it's something that we should keep on our radar for something.
Okay. All right. Where are we with our agenda here, Danielle?
284.
280, yep, sorry.
Everybody see the 284 agreement that John Alonji put out?
Yep.
Everybody's in agreement with John's 284?
I can't read it.
So basically, He mentions the roads that he's going to reclaim and pave. So I need a motion to accept John's 284 agreement.
I'll make the motion.
I need a second.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? So moved. I'd like to talk briefly about the COVID-19 and what the town and everybody involved with the legislator Corcoran and myself and Howard and people and Jerry have been putting up all the numbers and listening to the county on at 1 o'clock. Now they do it 3 days a week. I think it's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, Howard.
Yes.
And so the latest was that we do have 59 COVID-19 cases in Marlborough. Was suggested in today's meeting is they're starting to take people off as they find out that they recovered from the virus. So I think they took 10 off for
Yes.
today.
Yes.
59 is quite a bit in the town of Marlborough. Just hope and pray for those people that things work out. I know it's hitting basically, as we all know, we listened to the governor and that most of the deaths are from people that are elderly, like myself, and people that have some form of breathing problems, like my wife Cindy with her asthma. So it seems like the social distancing is working. I think things are starting to calm down as far as New York City, but it's getting to a plateau, a peak here in the county. You can see our numbers gradually go up and up every day. We're about the same, I think, from last week on Friday, maybe one added from 58 to 59, I'm not sure. But I think we're doing all the right things. We're doing the social distancing. We've been very proactive from the very beginning with our staff and making sure that they're safe. And also, I like to acknowledge a bunch of people that have been out there working for us, especially with Project Resilience. And this started off maybe about 3 weeks ago. I had a conversation with Matt Bidell. I think at that time when we first started the Project Resilience, we started off with 25 dinners. We're up to now 225, and as Ed suggested, we'll probably be up to 300 by next week. I'd like to thank, first of all the volunteers, starting with Tracy Kluge, and BJ Nicholson did start, but then I didn't know why he did this, but I think he just felt that this was the right thing. And I feel it's the right thing. I would love to be out there, but at our age, we shouldn't be out there. So he hasn't been volunteering for that service. I thanked him yesterday. I gave him a call and thanked him very much on behalf of the town and the board. Oh my God. So, and also, to get your dog under control there, please.
Vicious.
You know, I gotta admit that, Jerry, when you watch this on Channel 23 at 7 o'clock on Wednesday, they do a great job. It shows up just like this. So that dog will be on Channel 23. And nobody will go to Ed's house. So I also like to thank Jane and Joe Canosa, and of course Councilman Malinelli for all his hard work in delivering those dinners. Ed Mackey, Steve Jennison, Jen Flynn, Jessica Lazar, Jack Bellingham, Ted Mylar, Andrew McKay, Bethany, who was his wife, Andrew's wife, and Bridget Supernova. These are outstanding people. We owe them a great debt of gratitude for doing this. Unbelievable. So thank you very much, all of you. Thank you for Matt controlling this along with Ed. And basically, Frida's and the Valley Diner, Teddy and Frank have been working these two programs with the supply of dinners. Myself, spent the night a couple of weeks ago or a week ago just filling out the forms for all the seniors that wanted to apply for the dinners. So I thank you. And also, this project is United Way has given $2 million. And if anybody's listening and they feel that they would like to do something, they could donate to the United Way, because as you could see, from 25 to 225 and possibly to 300 meals, $10 a meal, it's going to add up. And so whatever anybody could afford to give to the United Way, I really appreciate it. And on that, Tom, do you have anything that you would like to say from the legislature position that I have missed? Or
Well, again, I've been on the phone calls every day, just like you have. Been in constant contact with our fellow legislators. We've been having meetings through the same process here, through the Zoom process. We'll get back on track with our committee meetings tomorrow night, and then we'll hold our legislative meeting in a couple of weeks through Zoom also. But yeah, we're moving forward. The executive's office is doing a fantastic job. Pat's doing a great job. Mark is doing a fantastic job with the meetings, and the input from the legislators. Everything's been well. So everything's moving forward. Government at its best, at least at the limited availability, what we're doing. But we're still doing things behind the scenes, just like we all are.
Thank you, Tom. Appreciate it. So. Did I miss anything? Anybody correct me on anything? Did you put that dog away?
He doesn't go away.
Oh, God. I do not have any correspondence, but I just wanted to make sure that Ed and all those volunteers know that we really appreciate everything they're doing. So kudos to them. Thank you very much. And thank you for Project Resilience and the county for setting that up. I do not have any correspondence. Does anybody have any correspondence from anybody that they would like to say? That being said, does anybody have any public comments? Anything on the agenda or anything they would wish to say? Or I don't think there's any public comments, so we'll move along to the resolutions. And so the first resolution is number 50, to authorize the town supervisor to sign the full-time dispatcher agreement. And Supervisor Lanzetta proposes the following. And basically what it is the agreement that myself, Scott, and the chief have worked on with the dispatcher and their attorney, and with our attorney, Dave Weiss. We think it's a fair a contract with the dispatchers, and so I move that we accept this contract and move forward with the resolution to adopt. Danielle? Colleen, sorry.
That's okay. Supervisor Lanzetta,
Yes?
Councilman Molinelli,
Yes.
Councilman Corcoran,
Yes.
Councilman Baker,
Yes.
Councilman Koenig.
Yes.
Thank you, gentlemen. Would you like to read your resolution, Howard, on the Hudson Valley Greenway Trail Grant? And would you like to just recap what we're trying to do with that grant and the trail?
Yes, I can do that. So we're going for a Greenway Trail Grant. This is for trail construction. 32-acre parcel known as the Christian Hill parcel, just east of St. Mary's parking lot. I think I've given you guys quite a bit of information about this. So The Greenway grant deadline is May 8th, and I've been working with the committee to get all the things together for it, and we're making good progress on it, and hopefully I'll meet the May 8th deadline. So, one of the things that they require in the grant is the resolution from the town to apply for the grant. So that's the resolution before you, number 51. Whereas the town of Marlborough directly borders the historic and scenic Hudson River, and whereas the town has identified several goals in its updated comprehensive plan to strengthen connections to the Hudson River, revitalize the Milton and Marlborough hamlets, and celebrate and protect natural resources. And whereas the comprehensive plan has stated that the addition of trails will help position the hamlets as destinations for visitors and residents and promote tourism. And whereas the town has signed a 24-5-year lease agreement with Philcon Corporation for a 32-acre parcel that has access to major tributaries to the Hudson River and is within the easy walking distance of the Marlborough hamlet, be it resolved that the town pursue a Hudson River Valley grant, Greenway Trail construction grant that will partially fund the creation of a walking trail and associating parking area to be known as the Chris Neal Trail on this 32-acre Philcon parcel and moves for its adoption.
Colleen?
Councilman Corcoran,
Yes.
Councilman Malinelli,
I just got one question, Howard. Is that the same trail where you have to access through the yacht club down there?
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
Where do we access from?
Access is through there's a right on 9W. The property actually goes right to 9W. It's a very southern tip of the St. Mary's parking lot. So that's how you would access.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it used to be when they mined, when Tilkine mined, that was the road that went to the area where
Right.
they mined.
Yep. Okay, yes.
okay, Councilman Koenig,
Yes.
Councilman Baker,
Yes. All
Supervisor Lanzetta,
Yes, thank you, Howard. Thank you to committee.
right. There's a motion I'm supposed to make also, Al. Do you want me to do that now?
Yeah, please, about the secret.
Yeah, so as part of this grant application, they asked going through the secret process. And we have, this is considered an unlisted action. We have to fill out a short form EAF, assessment form. Pat has done that for us. I think I circulated that to you. So my motion is to adopt that part one of the short form EAF and declare the town board as its intent to serve as lead agency for this project, and then authorize the circulation of the EAF and supporting documents to the DEC and other agencies that need to get involved. And Pat will do that for us, but I need to make that motion. Do I have a second?
Second that? Would you second that?
I'll second it.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None said. Motion carried. Thank you, Howard.
You're welcome.
Did you get my letter?
I
Yes, we
certainly
did. Thank you. Thank
very
you.
much, Tommy. Thank you very
We
much.
got you your letter a couple of days ago.
Yep.
Okay.
Testing on. Thank you very much, Tom.
Yes.
Yeah, I got the electronic version, Tommy, which is what I'm trying to use. I'll do it all digitally in that.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Resolution 52 to appoint Marlborough Historical Survey Committee. This is also with Howard and a bunch of people are working on. And this is what we established, that the town would support this with a $5,000 match, and the other 5,000 committed from different people. So moving along, Supervisor Lanzetta proposes the following. The 2017 Town of Marlborough Comprehensive Plan identified a key goal to include celebrate and protect natural and cultural resources, retain and protect the town's natural resources, and better document the town's historic and cultural resources, and consider ways to protect and enhance these resources as a source of community revitalization. And whereas the town is ready to prepare an inventory for those historic and cultural resources, be it resolved that the town will establish a Marlborough Historic Survey Committee and appoints the following citizens to serve on that committee: Howard Baker, Matthew Kierstead, Ellen Stewart, Tom Schroeder, John Scott, Rosemary Wine, and moves for its adoption.
Councilman Corcoran,
Yes.
Councilman Malinelli,
Yes.
Councilman Koenig,
Yes.
Councilman Baker,
Yes.
Supervisor Lanzetta,
Yes.
And that grant was submitted a week or so ago, that grant application. So
When
that's-
did we find out about that
I
grant?
think, don't quote me on this. I think in July, but I'm
Okay.
not sure.
Also, we haven't heard about the tree grant, have we?
No, and that should come in July too, I think.
Okay. And we're ready to submit the CFA grant?
You know, yes, because we're not going to make too many changes to it. So, yeah.
I mean, Jerry and Rosemary and yourself have been working diligently on the changes and,
Yep.
you know, the recommendations from the DOS. And so we're moving forward with that. This will be our fourth try.
Yeah, that's right.
why
They haven't
not?
really, as far as I understand it, they haven't opened up the portal yet. They usually do that in May, and then you have until July to fill it, submit it. So
Do they have any idea if this is the COVID-19, if that's going to influence it at all?
I can't. They haven't said anything, but me, I would think it would, but I haven't heard anything officially, so I don't know. Al.
Okay. Do you go home now, Scott, or you go back to work?
What's that?
Where does Scott go?
Oh, same.
I don't see him either.
Okay.
Maybe
He might have went back to work already.
I was back to work.
Alan, does anybody have anything to say or any?
Oh, hang on a second. Scott's in the waiting room. I got to admit him back in. Okay, here he comes. Did Linda have anything she wanted to ask us? Linda Perez?
You good, Linda?
I'm fine, thank you.
How did we
Well,
do?
thank you for joining. I think this is great. We had more people that would get involved in the community service and the government of Marlborough, just to give them an insight of what we do and how we conduct our business. I think that's great that you're participating, and I appreciate that.
Thank you.
I think,
You're welcome.
yeah, going forward, I think we ought to take Tommy's lead, and myself and Jerry and Ed should wear hats because the glow is, especially you, Jerry. I can say that. All right. Is everybody still there? Uh-oh, what happened? Are you still
I
there?
gotta go to sleep. Come on. I've been going since 5 o'clock in the morning.
That's because you're 50 years old now, Scott. That's why you're tired.
Alan, would you like to make sure that Scott goes back to bed?
Yeah, the one item on the agenda, number 15. Bring that up.
Dad,
I did.
you did. I know you buzzed out.
For adjournment.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everybody that put this together. Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Howard, and everybody. Thanks for all you've been doing.